good evening, everyone. I am happy to be here, and I hope that you all had an amazing week last week with your ELLs. I know it was really exciting for me. We started a new novel. We are reading the narrative of Frederick Douglass, so that has been really exciting so far, and it's also been really cool seeing how the students are making connections to the National Civil Rights Museum. It has been really wonderful. So I am excited about it, and I cannot wait to get more into it with the students. We are actually this week going to be reading text about Frederick Douglass. We are going to be reading a picture book, and we are going to be understanding more of the slave trade. So when they get into the narrative of Frederick Douglass, they'll have plenty of background knowledge to make those connections that they need to make. So I am so excited once again to be here with you all this week. I really want you all to know that I hope you all had an amazing week this past week. And I'm going to go ahead and share what we are going to be doing in today's mini training. So in today's mini training, we are going to learn how we can refresh our mindset for the upcoming school year. So this upcoming school year, during the second semester, school starts, we have testing, we have field trips, we have programs, and on top of all of that, we are preparing our ELLs to transition into next year. We want that to be a smooth process. Now, as educators, this can lead to us being overwhelmed. It can lead to us being stressed. And honestly, sometimes I just feel like, whoa, there is a lot going on and I need a break. It is also really important as well for you all to know that during this time, it is easy for teachers to slip into survival mode. And slipping into survival mode can completely sabotage the remainder of your school year. So you do not want to slip into survival mode. So we're going to go over today some strategies that you can use to refresh your mindset, refresh your lesson planning, just doing a quick refresh to make sure that you're starting out this second semester strong. Now, this first happened to me my second year of teaching, and honestly, it probably happened my first year of teaching, but I had so much going on that I probably didn't realize it. But when I was doing my second year of teaching, there were just so many additional requirements. Like we had to submit a data binder. We had to prepare the students for the WIDA assessment. We had to prepare the students for the state assessment. We had to grade papers. We had to do mock assessments. We had school programs. I mean, the list was just simply endless. And I reached a breaking point. And then one of the many nights I was staying after school, I was working to 6 p.m. planning my lessons, and I just said enough is enough. I'm tired. There just has to be a better way to do this. So I decided right then and there that I needed to do a complete 360, and it had to start with my mindset as an educator. So one night while I was staying till after 6, and when I went out the door, I was the last car at the school. You all, the absolutely last car in the building. And in that moment, that's when I had the breakdown. I was like, this is insane. Why am I the last car in the building? I mean, all the other teachers seem to have it together. They're getting their work done. They're leaving on time. Why am I the last car in the building? And that is in that moment, I knew I had to make a change right then and there. So when I went home that night, I stayed up late and I drafted a plan. And if any of y'all know me, I am a huge planner. So I was like, there's got to be a plan. I am drafting a plan and I'm getting this taken care of tonight. The first thing that I did was I took a really hard look at myself, and I had to decide in that moment, okay, what is taking up most of my time? What am I doing? And the winner came out as my lesson plans. You all, I was creating like 6 and 7 page lesson plans, not for the week, but for one day, one day. And then I started to dig deeper and I asked myself this question: why do I, as an educator, need to create a 6 page lesson plan every single day? Like, why do I have to do that every single day? You have to create a 6 page lesson plan, Millicent. Like, there's got to be something in there. So I then asked myself, okay, can I teach what I need to teach and plan a 1 page lesson plan, a 2 page lesson plan? And the answer was yes. I realized that when I was teaching every day, I was not looking through my lesson plan as I was teaching. How I do my lesson plans, I decided in that moment was that, okay, you need a structure to follow. And that's what I decided to do. And I also discovered an underlying discovery that I was including so many scaffolds in my lesson plans. I mean, you all, I was including, it felt like 102 scaffolds in my lesson plans for my ELLs. And then I had to ask myself that third question, and that was, Millicent, do your students need all of these scaffolds? Do they need 100 scaffolds? What's going on here? And I discovered during this reflection as well that I needed to prioritize my lessons. I need to prioritize my task at school. I just needed to prioritize. So I'm going to share with you all, if you are like me, every single semester, I take a moment to refresh, to reflect on what I'm doing this upcoming semester. If I need to adjust my lesson planning, if I need to adjust my classroom procedures, if I need to adjust my self-care, that's what I do. And most importantly, above all, do I need a refresh on my mindset? So I'm going to go ahead and share with you some strategies and some tips that you can use to refresh your mindset. The first thing that I want you to do is do exactly like I did. Take a deep look at how you are planning for your ELLs and how you are planning your lessons. And is your mindset when you're planning your lessons centered around, my ELLs are newcomers, so they cannot do this activity, so I need to add 103 scaffolds in place so they can achieve this activity? Or is your mindset, you know what, my students are long-term ELLs, they've been in ESL since kindergarten, they're struggling. I don't know if this would be a good activity for them, because that was holding me back as well. So I want to encourage you to ask yourself, what are some effective supports that you can put in place that is going to save you time on your planning? And is also going to challenge you to make sure that you're keeping a positive mindset at all times with your students. The second thing that I'm going to share with you is that this time of the year can be really overwhelming with testing, with school field trips, with programs. I mean, you name it, it is happening. And I want to suggest for you a digital or a paper planner and sit down and prioritize. At the beginning of the day, one of the things that I like to do is say, okay, Millicent, what are 3 things that you need to get done by the end of the day? Because one of the things that happens is throughout the year, you feel like you just have to check off every single thing on your to-do list. So prioritize. Refresh your mindset around how you are going to prioritize your task for the day. And I also want to encourage you right in this moment, it is okay to say no. If you're a first-year teacher, second-year teacher, you've been teaching for 25 years, it is okay to say no. And one of the great things about refreshing your mindset and thinking back on, okay, you know what? I can look back at this past semester and I can prioritize. Like, you know what? Maybe maybe I need to take a step back. I felt kind of overwhelmed last semester. I don't want to put too much on my plate. So make sure you do that. And like I said, if you have a planner or a digital planner or a calendar in your Outlook, it's really nice because that way you can see, hey, I have a lot going on this second week in February. I need to take a step back. I can't do this. This is too much. So make sure that you get that in place. That way you can know how you can prioritize. You know when it's okay to say no. I also want you to know that it's important to note that our mindset around these tasks that we're doing can take us into this mode or this mindset of, I just need to get through this. And I want to encourage you to be really mindful about that, because you don't want your mindset to be, or to have a task coming up and you're thinking, I just need to get through this. You want to be confident. You want to be confident, you know what, and say, look, I love what I'm about to do. I'm excited about what I'm about to do. Because if you don't, right, you're going to start to get into survival mode. And I always talk about survival mode. And that's a place as educators we do not want to be. So just keep that in mind. And I also want you to know that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay. If you see that you have taken on too much and you're taking a step back and you're saying, look, you know what, this is too much. I need some help. That is something that I'm personally working on for this upcoming semester when I am reflecting and refreshing my mindset. I am saying, you know what, Millicent, you're planning this Black History program coming up. Send an email out to the whole school and ask for help. And that's what I did. I asked for help, and lots of people volunteered to help me out. So I am really excited about that. So don't be afraid to do that. I would encourage you to do that. Like I said, we are getting into a really busy season. We're like I said, we're doing programs. We're about to do end of the year language assessments. We're doing state assessments. We still have our regular common formative assessments we're doing. So it's a lot as ESL teachers. So make sure you take that time to do that if you need it. And my third strategy that I'm going to share with you is to keep a reflection journal. It doesn't have to be anything anything fancy, but keeping a reflection journal is going to help you with your mindset and help you as an educator get back on track. It is a great tool to use after lessons. I love using it after lessons and saying to myself, okay, is there anything that I can improve on? Is there anything with my mindset that I need to adjust going into this next class? So I really want to encourage you. It can just be a simple 10-cent spiral notebook and you just writing things down. It does not have to be fancy. Now for me, since I love planners and journals, I mean, any reason to go to Michael's or Joann's. But it does not have to be fancy. Now, ELL educators, here are your next steps. It's got to give you your marching orders, what I need you to do. The first thing that I want you to do is take a moment and refresh your mindset around your planning, around your classroom procedures, around your mental health, around saying no. Take a moment and do that. And if you've been overwhelmed with anything, make sure that you ask for help. Also, always ask yourself, is there a way that I can streamline this process? Is there a way that I can make this process easier? And the second thing that I want to encourage you to do the second semester to refresh your mindset constantly is to keep a reflection journal every single day. At the end of the day, every day, just ask yourself, is there anything that I could have improved on? What were some things that went well today? What would I like to adjust for tomorrow? Just ask yourself those 3 simple questions. So I would love to know, how are you refreshing your mindset throughout this school year? What is something that you're doing? And if you have not already, make sure you subscribe to My Adventures in ESL and share with other ESL teachers to get the word out. It is because of you that this training is growing, the podcast is growing, the blog is growing, and I really want to encourage you to share it with other educators. So I am Millie. I am happy to be here with you as usual. If you have any questions, just email me at millie@myadventuresinESL.com or you can email me at myadventuresinESL.com@gmail.com. Once again, thank everybody for showing up this evening, and I will see you all next Sunday. Bye.